everybody. Brian Smith and Rick Stark here at the Gatorade NISS Tour, co-sponsored by Panasonic and Casio G-Shock. We are on the street course here at Metro Beach, Michigan. As you can see, the ramps are covered up, and they're going to be covered up for good. The first time in 4 years the Gatorade NISS Tour has been a rainout.
More like the street pond, Rick. Like the Anaheim Pond. Anyways, we got a great show for you. We got the history of NISS and the history of inline skating. You know, we have to fill the show with something, so why not make it something that they know?
We got some great footage from the 94 tour, the 95 and 96 tour, and we're going into the T-Bone library.
That's right, you know, films made this sport what it is. I mean, if the kids all across the country couldn't watch what it is, it never would have caught on, and we're going to kind of give the story about how that progressed to the amazing contest and the level of tricks that we have now. Should be pretty interesting.
Stick around, we got it coming at you on Fox Sports Now.
Coming at ya.
Yeah, there he is, the man, Chris Edwards, one of the first earliest inline vert skaters, ripping it up on the scene.
Chris Edwards is known to go big on the ramp. Way back in the day, he was the only one getting this huge air and pulling off amazing stunts. That's when skating just started, AJ. It's amazing how much, you know, talent he had way back in the day, and he still does.
Chris has been skating for quite a while now. You know, he's one of the first earlier street skaters and vert skaters all around.
Talk about street skating, though. Here's a guy who originated style way back in the day, Arlo D. Eisenberg, ripping, like grinding on everything. He was the icon. I think everyone knows Arlo Eisenberg, and they looked at the hoax, the first video that really came out, and you could see all these crazy grinds that he was doing way back in the day, like this 270 to backside backslide. Now, just came out like a little while ago.
Chris Arlo representing the first 1994 NISS vert champ and street champ. Here we go. This is Chris Mitchell ripping it up over at UCLA, showing you some gaps, some of the first front side grinds. Chris Mitchell's originally from Team Rollerblade. Now he's over at Fox Magazine.
Here's an OG, Brooke Howard Smith. Went big back in the day with his gap jumps.
Angie Walton being one of the first female vert skaters coming out of Florida, taking it to the next level for the ladies. Let's hear what Arlo got to say.
Well, what we're using is small wheels because what's happened, especially with someone like Joseph and myself, we have the smaller feet, so the smaller wheelbase. We need as much space as we can get right here in the center so that we can grind. Here we are with Rollinson Rivera, one of the OGs of skating. Rollinson and I used to skate in New York. I remember when I first saw him, he was buckled. He had this full armor. You were like a total different person, like a kook. And then now you're turning into Mr. Styles. So talk a little bit about how you evolved. How did you learn tricks, and what did you do to get to where you are now?
Well, you know, we used to skate together in New York before you moved out to California.
Yeah, but I was a lot better than you. So.
Yeah, true, right. I taught you how to slogan and everything, but, you know, I learned tricks by looking at people and skating every day and spending a lot of time skating 5, 6, 10 hours.
What do you mean
skating.
looking at people?
Just watching them skate, you know,
Okay.
see what they're doing different and try to make different tricks out of whatever they're doing. You know? I started skating in New York after seeing Chris Edwards on a rollerblade catalog. I used to work in a skating rink as a skate card, and I wanted to do something different. Like, I wanted to buy a pair of skates, and I saw Chris Edwards on a rollerblade catalog, and I said, oh man, I want to do a handrail. I want to jump on a handrail and slide it. I tried jumping on a handrail, doing the same move. I almost killed myself.
That is got the instructional handbook on how to do handrails, and it explains it really well, all the hand techniques and everything. So, good book. Thanks a lot, sir, for the on that. So he left his rollerblades at home, but he can rip. He rips under the bridge in New York.
pretty neat.
The 1997 Gatorade NISS Tour on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by Gatorade. Life's a sport, so drink it up. And by Panasonic, just slightly ahead of our time. And by Casio G-Shock, time to get tough. And by Rosas, what do you want on your feet when you land? You're looking at a wet street course here at stop number 2 of the Gatorade NISS Tour. So right now, we're going to go back to the archives.
In 1995, me and a couple other skaters toured the whole country to find the best skaters in the country. Let's take a look at the footage.
Well, today we just traveled from Salt Lake City, Utah to Colorado. Now we're on our way to Omaha, Nebraska to rip with Dave Kalash and his boys. It's going to be about a 10-hour drive. We're going to do laundry and paint the side of the van before we go. We're just going to rip it up in Omaha.
I think it's awesome that we're driving around the country and we can stop anywhere and we're going to find people doing the latest stuff.
It's getting huge. It's getting bigger than I ever thought, to tell you the truth. You know, I always thought it'd be a secluded sport, if you want to call it a sport. But, yeah, man, it's getting big, man. Kids are going nutty. They're jumping on the handrail, they're jumping on the grind, they're jumping on all that, and they're sliding down it, and they're doing it. It's really tripped out.
It's such a neat sport, and we've pushed it so far already that it's unbelievable some of the tricks people are pulling off, even though the sport's only, you know, so many years old. It's just becoming an insane sport.
The sport's going to get very, very technical. It's gotten to the point that we're making our sport look hard. You know, it's not like you're going to put on a pair of skates and you're just going to go and put them on and start doing rails. You know, we don't want it like that.
The space between the pros and the beginners will just get absolutely enormous. Everything will get bigger. It'll be like a spin to a disaster type thing.
Well, this is basically a new sport, but after certain generations, it become a traditional sport because you set the standards and you set the boundaries. And there's not a lot of documentation out there that really explain to a lot of people what the sport is all about and where it comes from in the lifestyle. But aggressive inline skating is an art. It's like painting a picture because we look at the world as a skate park, whether it's a parking structure, whether it's a curb, whether it's a freshly paved cement, or whether if it's a national disaster like a fire, you know, you go and you skate the empty pools. Yeah. You know, I mean, there's so many different things that skating evolved from.
a minute with more skating action on
Fox Sports Network, baby!
Fox Sports.
The Gatorade NISS Tour on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by Bauer, Leave an Impression, and by ProTech. We're concerned for your safety, mind, body, and soul, and by Eastpak Backpacks, guaranteed for life, maybe longer.
Brian Smith, SBC, straight up filmmaker, skater, gymnast, OG boy coming out of the inner city of New York. I know. What's up?
It's all good.
I want you to tell people what's really going down in your head.
I basically, you know, like you said, I was in college for gymnastics. Gymnastics has been my whole life, so that's an aggressive, like, crazy sport if you've ever seen it. And, you know, that is all about going big and risking your life. When I was in New York, was rollerblading down the street and saw these guys jumping on a handrail, and I was like, oh, no, he didn't just jump on a rail with his rollerblades. So I went to the store and said, you know those guys who go down the steps, you know, stair riding was big. I mean, it was the beginning. You know, backwards went on the stairs was like, oh, snap, he just went down backwards.
Right.
So when I said, I need the good skates, the ones that, you know, the ones that you can jump stuff with and go crazy. So went out, started going off. Like, I'm gonna go jump some stairs today. And, like, was getting worked. First he set me up on the rail and then I just slid down.
And it's 3, 2, 1, actions!
And I'm like, oh, that was easy. You know, but I wasn't locked in. So then I back up. It's a 9-step in New York and I charged this rail and jumped up and just got worked.
Oh, all right. That was my first time.
The second time I did it, I jumped down and slid down the whole rail.
Yeah! New York, it's on now.
And that was like the best feeling, aside from, you know, gymnastics, that I've ever felt in my life. Because I didn't care and because you thrive on it, that you get good.
Since we can't skate, we're going to have a different kind of contest. It's going to be for this G-Shock watch. Whoever can run to that minivan and back in 30 seconds wins.
Hey! G-Shock, the winner, baby!
Are you hungry? Hey, that's my watch!
There you have it. We don't lie. Kids, did it go through some torture? Yeah. And did it keep on ticking? Yeah. Is that the G-Shock watch? Yeah. Everyone wants one for Christmas? Yeah. G-Shock, baby. Don't miss out.
We have more of the history of skating coming up next on Fox Sports Net.
So grab your partner, do-si-do, and if you don't got popcorn, chew your toes, because we're getting ready to go.
You didn't have your helmet. Killed myself?
The later it gets, the better it gets. Fabulous. Tom Skerritt stars in Picket Fences. Then it's the show that changed television forever, Miami Vice. Next, it's a double dose of comedy.
2 snaps up.
FX Late Night, every night starting at 11:10 Central.
You are looking at the wet and damp street course here at Metro Beach, Michigan, stop number 2 of the Gatorade NISS Tour. Right now, everything in delay as the rain has come out and made it impossible to skate here at Metro Beach, Brian.
You know, one of the great things about that tour we went on across the nation is finding talented kids all around the whole country. So let's check out some more of that footage. Shall we, Rick?
Roll it.
This is a true story of 5 skaters
going across America.
Well, it's been a long time from the past I find to be the wrong time. People be going for stealth, so therefore you couldn't get on mine, cause I'm not your typical everyday rhyme slinger. I flip it off, my lyrics give it to you like the finger. Ring around the rosy, this is for you nosy bone knuckleheads. Like I said, you don't even know. For the hardcores only. Phonies get detected, then slowly digested, cause they can't hang with the hectic, unexpected. My flows creep like Jack Daniels to the mental. I come and go whenever, cause I said so. True Bledsoe couldn't throw the bomb like I can. Capital I man, bringing the realness to your wonderland. I'd make you get out. Them thoughts of me to ever sell out like the priest in the exorcist.
We're about to embark on a 33-day skating tour across America.
We're getting in this Winnebago, this 34-foot car, sorta, and we're gonna drive across the country and, you know, play our video games. Little kids are gonna take us out and we're gonna hurt ourselves.
Well, my skills suffocate mind frames, damaging the hindbrain. Those who try are catching migraine, son. You couldn't underscope play if you consumed a bottle of methadone. This ain't your zone.
This is every skater's dream. I can't believe it. It's really happening to me. You always think it's gonna happen to somebody else, but, you know, it happened to me. It could happen to you too.
In each city you go to, there's all these little kids that want to skate with you, and there's so much stuff that you've always wanted to do that you finally get a chance to do it now.
Hip-hop will always remain in my heart forever like time. I live off a rhyme to keep my mind staying sublime. You'll find
This opportunity came up. I was just like, man, I gotta go, you know? I gotta be the one to be there. I mean, I dreamed this before it ever even was dreamt of. Before anybody ever thought of it, I dreamt of this and I knew this was gonna happen for me someday, and it has.
everything's a charade. I die for hip-hop, that's why I stay alive for hip-hop every day. Cause to me everything's a charade.
You better take notes, quote, capital I rocks the boat from the west coast. The truth flows out me like I'm under oath. I see through fakes like holograms, they be yelling, I'm the man. They couldn't throw down, I make them slow down like traffic jams. They feel my jam from here to Pakistan, cracking fans wide open, I be stroking. So what you gonna do like Hulk Hogan? The slogan, I do dirt, symbolizing mud scenes, and it don't stop cause hip-hop be flowing through my bloodstream.
Sound smashes, kids and crashes like a safety airbag in a Volvo Solo. See, I go way back like the hairpiece on a Cholo.
There's a lot of kids out there. A lot of people doing really incredible things. And so now, instead of just taking together all this footage everyone sends us, we're actually going out and we're getting it.
Hip-hop true like shell toes, so tell folks this. Mexican is selling tapes to hell with roses.
Every time we see a trick, we underestimate the talent that's out there. We say, oh, in a couple of years they'll be doing this, and then what do you know, in a month's time there's some kid who's 5'1", who lives in some small town who can do it.
Stay alive for hip-hop every day. Cause to me everything's a charade. I die for hip-hop, that's why I stay alive for hip-hop every day. Cause to me everything's a charade.
We started here, then we went all the way to there, and then last night we drove there to down to Boulder, which is a little north of Denver. Then we were in Fort Collins. That's where we did our laundry.
Now, far and wide we searched the land. We found out Jimmy's sitting in the sand. Shades are on, he's in the house. He ran away with Mickey Mouse. He's in the shade, he's by the sea. He's out of
have more of the history of skating coming up next on Fox Sports Net.
Wheels are really important because, well, for little kids, man, they need their wheels to last them a long time, not wear quick, and once they get close to the hub, they usually chunk, and they need to make a wheel that doesn't chunk, and Hyper might be able to do that.
The Gatorade NISS Tour on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by Cahone's, the official retail sponsor of the NISS Tour, and by Team Paradise, America's Inline headquarters, and by Ford Trucks, built fun tough. The tarps are still on, and it's damp on the street course here at Metro Beach, Michigan, so Brian Smith had a chance to catch up with Rollinson Rivera.
The level of skating, it's incredible. You know, the topside tricks and alley-oop stuff and royales. I mean, when we first started skating, we thought it not possible to do a royale. And then you couldn't fathom like a backslide or an alley-oop macchio. So where do you pick up like that innovative new stuff, and how do you?
Well, we have people, you know, have kids that take it to the next level. We have like people like John Julio that goes and, you know, makes up a whole lot. I think John Julio changed skating. He was in some of the films before, but he was just a regular guy like everyone else, but different style, but went on and changed skating by coming up with some tricks that were incredible tricks that you didn't think it were possible. Then people like B. Harding come up with a backslide, you know, just kids around the world and people in the world getting to a next level. They see it and they try things you wouldn't think are possible. Europe, the kids are amazing right now. I mean, people would think that in Europe the kids are behind the American skaters, and it's not true. With the NISS Tour, you can see kids doing tricks that we can't do yet, you know, tricks that haven't hit like the States where the sport is the main, has its grassroots from, and it's like we can't do the tricks that they're doing right now, and we have to catch up to that. And I mean, the sport's growing worldwide. You wouldn't think that people skate in there's places in the world that you wouldn't think that people are skating, and you find out that very good skaters from there.
Oh yeah, Brian, you know what this is all about, man. You know, we be traveling around the world, checking out all these beautiful skate parks. This is Tom Fry ripping it up in Switzerland, bro.
Ah, yes, Europe. Cappuccinos, cheese, bread, and skate parks. Europe is full of skate parks, AJ, and let me tell you, those Europeans go off in them.
Yeah, that's the Monster. That's the Monster Park right there, boy. Munster, Germany. Renee Holgreen ripping it up. It's pretty cool. Check him out.
Renee's one of the only inline bladers when we went there that was skating this part, ripping it up. Besides skateboards, it's so steep. The transitions are so big that you gotta actually be there and get the hang of it before you can start ripping, and no one does it better than Renee here.
Look how Renee going up on that rock. It's a very nice skate park in Switzerland, dude. You ever skate this one?
No, I haven't actually had the pleasure of skating these concrete skate parks. I mean, they take it so serious over there in Europe, especially when it comes to skate parks, because they don't have the insurance problems and, you know, sign all the waivers and the stuff that Americans do, so there's a lot more parks.
Well, you know, the same thing happens over in Australia as well, too.
Skate parks all over Europe. In almost every town there's a big skate park, because the governments don't want the kids on the streets, so they build all these fine places for us.
That's what I'm talking about, right? Huh?
Yeah,
love. Skating, love, parks. Something America's missing.
Shuffles. Mute grabs.
Look at that. They just go big over there.
Hello.
You know, Renee has a roller skating background, too, Brian.
Yeah, I heard that's what he started, but he came to the dark side, finally.
Actually, that's some of the original inline roots. Roller skating. in bowls and half pipes and streets. Crazy stuff. Check out that air. There's Toto Galley in Amsterdam, home of the 1997 NISS World Championship.
Oh, that's going to go off. I can't wait to go to that. Best skaters in the world, Europe and the United States, they're all everywhere getting together for one competition.
Represent, represent. Check it out, Brian. This is Marseille.
Hey, I bet you don't know this, AJ, but me and Arlo actually went there and painted the skate park to give more color.
Yeah, man, I know the OGs there, man. Another good shot of Munster Bowl.
That bowl is so steep. If you miss over that gap, you're dead.
Hey, don't you know this skate park is on the beach, dude? It'd be honeys in bikinis, skaters all around.
Yeah.
Kenny,
Kenny, he was actually in a bikini last time I saw him.
You're crazy, dude. Check out Toto ripping up that bowl at Marseille. Nice little air to fakie. Yeah, this is why I like going to Europe, man, because the skate parks are just there, free, and it's a cool thing to do, man. One love for Europe.
You're cool, AJ.
We'll be back in a second.
With the spot of the week!
Airborne Skate Park, Ryan Smith, Rick Stark, and this
is the spot of the week! Every day we come out, Rick, we try to have this nice event, and it rains, rains, rains. So here we are at another skate park where the kids had a blast. I know I had a blast.
We got some incredible footage, T-Bone crew in the house making it real.
It's on Airborne Skate Park. There's Rolling Rivera and John Julio right now. Let's get a live interview. So, Mr. Julio, you won the NISS last year. How do you feel about coming and being rained out and have to come to this awesome skate park and just get loose? Tell us a little bit about how you feel.
It's great. I feel good.
You heard it, folks. John Julio feels good, and I'll vouch for that. Rollinson, huh? Tell us a little bit about the skate park. You're just tore up.
This skate park?
Don't be afraid.
This skate park?
Tell them how you feel.
It's okay. It's good. It's good, dude.
Let me show you how it's done. See, all the pros are kind of lame. So here we go. How's the skate park, man? Awesome. Yeah, they're lame too. Anyways. Oh yeah, AJ. So, what better to do than to find a skate park? Because you got to skate somewhere, right? If it's raining, we came in.
Well, you got to remember, Brian, that's what the tour is all about, man. You know, skating, dude.
You know what the best part about this was, AJ?
Like Scott.
Besides him? We got in for free, and we got hot dogs.
That's right. Blame it on me.
Aaron Feinberg, one of the youngsters in the sport, but definitely doesn't lack in skill. Homeboy goes off.
What you guys are seeing here is street skaters now getting into transition riding. John Julio, Aaron Feinberg, Mike Scott.
AJ Jackson, now here's a man who knows what's going on at the Airborne Skate Park. Break us off a little something.
Hey, yo, Brian Smith. I just want to tell him something.
Go ahead now, preach on my brother.
We got ribs cooking in the skate park.
We got some ribs.
We got some ribs cooking in the skate park.
You got some ribs.
We got them straight up ribs, chicken, watermelon, sausage, all you can eat, all you can skate. It's sweetness and the F-O-X.
There it is, folks. Now, it can't be said any better than that. We had a live band, food, skating. Rick Starks, I'm a little bit excited. Rainey's going to bring us down. Woo-hoo-hoo! Woo!
Yo, what's up? Just chillin' on Panasonic Shockwave. Bam!
there it is. Check it out. As soon as you know it, babes, they come. You better pick yourself up one, because you're good.
We're having a contest. You can come up with the best name for the new Hoax 4 video. You're going to win 976, Hyper, Senate, Rose's Skates, and most importantly, an all-expense paid trip on the T-Bone Tab, July 13th to Chicago, baby, for the Hoax premiere party. Hey, everyone out there, party people, listen up. If you like that music on NISS, order your new NISS music CD at 888-625-MASS. Order your CD today.
Welcome back to the street course here at Metro Beach, Michigan. Stop number 2 of the Gatorade NISS Tour here on Fox Sports Net.
According to the Weather Channel, we got a front that's stuck over the Appalachians. Just doesn't want to move. So all the spin off after this, if it does go just slightly east, it brings it up here. If it goes slightly west, all we got's, you know, winds and drive.
Just a couple of the guys from the local hockey team came out to security guard for us, Rick. But there's nothing to security guard because it's raining. But they still think they're doing a good job, so let's not tell them.
I hope they don't charge extra for the weather forecast.
No, they actually have connections in this town.
The Gatorade NISS Tour on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by Hyperwheel, supporting skaters from the ground up, and by Twin Cam Aggressive Bearing.
Take a look now at some of the footage from the 1996 finals, Rick. This is Jeff Laredo. Came out and was really impressed everyone last year. He's on the injured list right now, but lots of new stuff. Tell us a little bit about how the course has changed, Rick, for this year.
Well, we've added at least 8 ramps, Brian. The new Roses start box, the pyramid ramp. There's so many good ramps to hit right now.
The first couple of stops, everyone was saying it's the best contest they've ever been in. Everyone loves the new course. The level of skating has increased. You guys basically catered to what the new people are doing. Lots more transitions and faster skating.
And nobody represents the new school more than 1996 Rookie of the Year, Jeff Laredo. What NISS is all about, paid his own way at stop number 2 in Virginia Beach in 96. And now he has 2 great sponsors in Hyper and Roses. And he is one to watch on the 97 Tour. And there is a look at the 96 Gatorade NISS champ John Julio from Milpitas, California. And this is an actual look back at his run in 96, Brian. And it's always kind of fun to look back. You wonder if the tricks from 96 can actually win in 97, but really you guys progressed so much, this almost looks like easy stuff.
Well, John Julio makes everything look easy. He's so fluent and he invents so many new tricks and, you know, revolutionized the sport last year. That's why he was the champion. Did like things like that, the sidewalk, which he invented, you know, 2 or 3 weeks before the NISS finals came about. And he's always been an originator and a leader, not a follower, and that's why he's going to do really good this year, and he won the tour last year.
John Julio right there going down, but what a run in 1996 to take the crown. As you can see, John Julio skating smooth on the street course here in Huntington Beach. This year we're moving the finals to Santa Monica.
What a way to end a run. Fish brain. So hard when you're tired.
And what makes this so special is each and every year the new school come out and we discover them here on the NISS Tour. And back in 1996, we found Aaron Feinberg in Portland, Oregon, and he hasn't looked back since.
I'm convinced, Rick, anyone under 4 feet tall is actually considered a good skater automatic. They don't even have to skate. You know, you got Jeff Laredo, Aaron Feinberg, Roadhouse, you know, Corey Nelson. All these guys rip so good. And none better than Aaron Feinberg. He came out on the tour last year and shocked everyone. And I remember meeting him when he was actually even smaller than this in Miami on the first stop. He came a long way.
Now, how does a guy like Aaron come out and just look so smooth, not nervous, doesn't care about the pressure, and just lands every trick?
Because he's having fun. He really doesn't care how he does. He just goes out and he enjoys being here with all his friends and skating. And it shows in his skating. He's just out there, look at him, just going through the motions and doing all the tricks that he knows he can do.
And one thing about the new school, Brian, is they love to compete. They love the competition circuit, and they love to compete here at NISS.
Like I said, it's kind of like getting together and having a huge party with all your friends, except you can skate, which is what these kids do every day after school, is go home skate. So it's just, you know, you see new people, you see new tricks. It's interesting. Like, here he is right there with a Liu Kane 540. Huge. You got to wonder where these kids learn all these new tricks, and I had a chance to talk with him, and he answered that question for you.
People like Chris Edwards that you look at and you want to be like them, and I used to not be as creative, but now when I skate a street course, I just look around for something that no one else is doing and looks like fun, and then you have to be the first person to do it, so it's a lot harder, and it feels really good to learn a new trick.
Yeah, you have a lot of new tricks you're doing. How do you practice, like when you go out, you know, you say you get a vision in your head, you're sitting at home, you're watching a video, whoa, what if I did that on my left foot and then tweaked it like this? So do you just go to a rail right after you're done watching the video and try it, or do you plan it down, like draw little pictures? And
No, I don't do stuff like that. I mean, me and my friends just watch videos and stuff, and we're always thinking of new tricks that we could do, and we just all learn off of each other and just have fun skating anything. Before I was like just a street skater, but now it's so much funner because I realize there's so much more stuff to skate. Like now I'm starting to skate vert and all kinds of transitions and any banks and anything that you can find on the street. There's so many different wall rides. People just need to expand their mind and skate more stuff.
what do you think the future? What do you think? What else is there?
I don't know. I mean, we see how it's advancing. It's coming on TV, and everybody is getting better and better. And the way we skate just says it all.
Stick around. We're going to take a look at the 1996 Vert Championships here from the Gatorade NISS Tour. It's the wet and damp street course here at Metro Beach, Michigan. And we've been waiting for the rain to stop. And as you can see, it's time to wave the flag. I think we're surrendering to the elements. So we're going to go back to the archives and take a look at the 1996 Vert Champ.
Mike Scott, our winner, going big. Mike Scott has improved a lot, and the ramp has actually changed a lot since last year. Here he is doing big airs, big huge 540s, grab and mute, 720.
Mike was on that day. He was facing Rene Holgren, and the pressure was on, and Mike Scott, he just hit everything.
You'll notice Mike is doing a lot of grinds there, but this year's ramp has a lot more street grinds mixed with the airs. Really makes it a lot more exciting. But it was definitely exciting last year watching these guys go off.
Mike Scott, definitely the underdog. 95 champ Sessa Moore in attendance, and he was facing Rene Holgren, two of the top skaters in the world, and Mike put together a terrific run.
If I'm correct, didn't Rene hurt himself in warm-ups too?
Yeah, you're right, Brian. Rene was definitely getting injured as he was warming up, and that might have had some effect on the outcome, but looking back at Mike's tricks,
it still would have been close. Both of them are incredible skaters. See, Mike here is really going big, pulling out all the tricks, holding nothing back.
The pressure on Mike to go back-to-back. No skater in NISS history has ever won back-to-back titles.
Let's take a look at the Viking. Going big. Rene just goes off. Huge. Got stale Japan there.
You recall, I think Rene fell, and that might have been the difference. Somewhere late in his run, he lost his footing. Untypical of the Viking right there, Brian.
The It looked like someone had some fishing string across the ramp there. Actually might have tripped him up, but he got right back up and finished up his run strong. And you're right. If you go down bacon in the pan in the finals, it could cost you. Well, look at all the great tricks. Even after he went down, Renee is just a trooper.
What makes him such a top pro is he came back and just nailed so many tricks after he fell to put the pressure on Mike. He just ran out of a little luck in the end.
He had a lot of original stuff in that run, too. If he didn't fall, I think he would have been able to pull it off. But as luck would have it, you fall, you fall. Does that make sense? Kind of. Anyways, they love him here at NISS. Check out some of the slow-mo action. Fast planning. Look at the height and that rocket. Very nice. Coming in late. There he is, showing he can spin, grabbing safety. Beautiful 540.
And you're right, Brian. A lot of people were saying if he didn't go down, he would have been the 1996 champ. But right there was the spill that cost him. And that's a look back into the NISS Archives 1996 style.
Get serious. Personal stereo for people. Personal stereo with stamina. With sound you can feel. This is Shockwave from Panasonic.
What do you want on your computer?
The Gatorade NISS Tour on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by Gatorade. Life's a sport, drink it up. And by Casio G-Shock, time to get tough. And by Panasonic Audio Products, proud co-sponsor of the 97 NISS Tour. And by Paul Mitchell, professional salon products, available in fine salons only.
AJ Jackson, by far one of the OGs of skating. AJ, you've been around since the beginning. You've actually been the whole way through this sport. I mean, you've seen everything. You've seen every change. You've seen it go from nothing to this huge, you know, big thing. So I know you've got lots to say, so I'm just going to let you go.
Well, basically, really, Brian, everything starts with a role model, like Rollison was saying and Aaron Feinberg was saying. And because in the beginning I didn't have any, what you would say, inline role models, you had to have other role models, such as people like Martin Luther King, which starts with a dream. I had the dream, one of the favorites, one of the most popular speeches of all time, you know. And it started with a dream with me, and one day I put on some skates, and I just had a dream that one day people would be doing exactly what they're doing today. There'll be competitions, there'll be tours, there'll be international skaters, and there'll be people coming from rich families, poor families, broken up families, black, white, Asian, doesn't matter. You know, there's no color line with our sport, and that's the most important thing, because it's a peace, revolutionized, completely different time change sport. I think right now the evolution is it stems from the beginning, which started from soul skating. Technology has changed the sport. You know, we started with metal frames. Now we're on glass reinforced frames. We're still on urethane wheels. The urethane companies have gotten a lot more intelligent and a lot better. And the thing that's beautiful is to start seeing these kids come up with their own companies. That is the most radical part of the sport, because it's a rebel sport, like we've been talking about for many years. And really what rebel is, it's not rebellion. Rebel is changing things, you know, it's revolution. You know, that's what we call it, revolution. And you know, these kids are becoming young entrepreneurs and starting their own companies. And you know, when the big companies go, these young skaters are going to still be around, keeping the even younger generation, you know, interested in the sport of aggressive skating.
Right. It's not a sport like, say, basketball or football that's been around for years and forever, and that people, I mean, this is basically a new sport.
Well, this is basically a new sport, but after certain generations, it become a traditional sport.
Right.
Because you set the standards and you set the boundaries. Mm-hmm. The key thing we're talking about here is commitment, because if we don't commit ourselves to the sport, there ain't no sport. We don't commit ourselves to the lifestyle of it, there ain't no competitions. And I give big props to once again all the sponsors, Fox TV. Thanks for hooking us up live. It's all good. NISS 97 is gonna rock. Here we are, man, rained out, but we still kept it real. Skate to skate park, barbecue chicken, and we partied, and it's all good. Brian Smith, AJ Jackson.
I'm gonna lose my job. He's pretty good.
One love, peace, and keep it real. Never sell out.
Boy! Hotel accommodations provided by the Best Western Sterling Inn in Detroit. To pick up cool NISS merchandise, call Team Paradise, America's Inline headquarters. The Gatorade NISS store is...